Hello everyone. Hello guys. How are you guys on today? Guess what time it is? It is story time with Miss Doris. I'm so excited to be reading you a live story on today. Sorry we're coming on so late. I had an emergency, but guess what? I am here now. Have an awesome story for us on today. Today is Wednesday, and on Wednesdays we read a Christian story on Wednesday. So I'm so excited. I'm going to go ahead on and get started. I like to greet everyone all over the world. I like to say hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some good night. Someone is going to bed somewhere in the world. But guess what? You are just in time for story time with Miss Doris. Greetings to all of you all over the world. To all of our new followers, I'm so glad to have the chance to read to you your first new live story on today. And hello and welcome. Today's story we are going to be reading is going to be Joseph the Dreamer. Joseph the Dreamer. And our book is going to be, our reading story is going to be coming out of our children's Bible on today. Remember, today is Wednesday, and on Wednesdays we read our Christian stories. To all of the children here in the state of Nevada, you guys are on pause week until the 18th, so make sure you are tuning in, moms and dads. Make sure you're tuning in to story time with Miss Doris, since the children are going to be out of school. And even if you miss the story time, you can always catch it on replay, or you can visit our Storytime YouTube channel, Storytime with Miss Doris. Hello, Shakana. Hello, Shaquavia. How are you on today? I hope you're having an awesome day. And to those of you that are celebrating a birthday on today, happy birthday to you. I hope you are enjoying your day. I'm going to go ahead on and get started with our short story on today. We're not going to do the story time song, but hopefully you can hear it in the background. We're going to go ahead on and get started with our story for today, our Christian story. Joseph the Dreamer. Joseph the Dreamer. And this is going to be coming from out of our book in the Bible. And this one story is coming from our children's Bible. And it's going to be Genesis chapter 37. Genesis chapter 37. Joseph the Dreamer. Excuse me. Jacob lived in the land of Canaan. He had 12 sons. The oldest was Reuben. The youngest was Benjamin. Of all his sons, Jacob loved the one named Joseph best of all. When Joseph was 17, Jacob made a fancy coat for him, a coat of many colors. His brothers were very jealous of him. They could not speak a kind word to Joseph. There's Joseph, his father, and his brothers. One night, Joseph had a strange dream. He and his brothers were out in the field tying wheat into bundles. His bundle of wheat stood up. Then the others stood around it and bowed down to it. He told his brothers about the dream. They laughed at the idea that they would never bow down to him. Then Joseph had another dream. Listen, he said to his brothers, this time I dreamed that the sun and the moon, 11 stars, were bowing down to me. Could the dream mean that one day Joseph would rule over his father and mother and all his brothers? The dreams made the brothers even more bitter towards Joseph. There's the bundles of hay that he and his brothers were bundling and stacked. And there's the moon. end. That was a really, really short story today. Joseph the Dreamer. Joseph the Dreamer. So in other words, the whole essence of our story, we know that Jacob lived in Canaan and he had 12 sons. But one of the favorite son was Joseph. His oldest son was Reuben and his youngest was Benjamin. But out of the 12, he loved the one named Joseph best of all. But he loved all his kids. You know, we may have more than one siblings in our family, but guess what? Your parents love all of you. It's just that in this story today, Jacob was talking about his 12 sons, and 12 sons, men in the family. So there was a little bit of envious there. So they were jealous of their brother Joseph. So when Joseph was 17, Jacob made a factory coat for him, which was such a beautiful, beautiful coat. Now, even though he didn't make a special coat for his other sons, the other 11, but he still loved them as well. And they had coats, but this was a special coat for Joseph. This was a special coat. I think Joseph was the chosen one from God. So Joseph's brothers was really, really jealous of him. They couldn't even speak a kind word to Joseph would have said. But guess what? God gave Joseph a dream. Joseph had a strange dream one day that his brothers out in the field was, when they were doing the bundles, they didn't really like what he was telling them about the dream. But guess what? He told his brothers about the dream anyway. They laughed at the idea that they would never bow down to him. But guess what? Never say never. We don't know what God has in store for us, or what whoever God has before us to give us a word. So when someone is giving you a word from God, just receive the word. Sometimes we don't want to always receive the word, but guess what? I look at it as them being God's messenger. So Joseph had that dream, and he said to his brothers that the sun and the moon and the 11 stars were bowing down to him. His brothers didn't believe him. But the dream meant that one day Joseph would rule over his father, his mother, and all of his brothers. The dream made the brothers very, very bitter. But guess what? It didn't matter how mad or upset they got with Joseph. In our story, in God's word, it said that they would bow down to him, even the stars and the moon. So guys, remember, if someone is giving you a word or a message from God, receive the message, because God is letting us know that warning comes before destruction. So if someone is giving you a word, receive the word on today. Today's word is be encouraged, and receive the word from God's messenger. Like for me, Miss Storytime, I'm not a preacher, I'm not a pastor, I'm not a missionary, but guess what? I'm a messenger, God's messenger, to relay a word to you of encouragement. Be encouraged on today and receive the message. I am Miss Doris. I'm just God's messengers. God bless you all. Love you all with the love of God. And remember, if you're not feeling well, always let someone know that you're not feeling well. And guess what? They would take really, really, really good care of you. And when you're out and about or playing with that favorite toy, or eating lunch, or having ice cream and pizza, or that snack, make sure you are washing and sanitizing your hands at all time. It's a lot of sickness in the land on today. So make sure you are washing and sanitizing your hands at all times. And when you're out in public, guys, I know you guys are not in school here in the state of Nevada. So when you're out in public and your mom or dad gives you your mask, it's imperative that you wear your mask. Remember, we are still practicing safety first. Remember, we're still practicing safety first. I love you guys. Have an awesome day. And remember, receive God's message from the messenger Take care. God bless you all. Remember, if you're not smiling on today, I hope once you see Miss Doris' smile that you are smiling. Have an awesome day. Take care, and God bless you all.